Wanted to show you guys the garden this morning. So, see where we're at this point in the season. Over here, we're doing our corn patch. And from this point on, we've got a younger corn patch that's going to lead into an okra corner. This row right here, these are the green zucchinis and the yellow summer squash. We actually are already getting our fruit coming in. Praise yeah. And these flowers over here, these are actually edible too. So these are fun to try to figure out how to cook with. Down here we have cucumbers. We have lemon cucumber, and then we have another type of pickling cucumber that Josh laid down. And this row here, I shared with you guys when I planted the potatoes. These are the potatoes. And these are a younger batch of potatoes because I figured when we go to pull these up, these will just be the size of those little small potatoes you get at the store, which I thought would be pretty neat to have some on hand. Organic, fresh from my garden. Gotta hop over my corn, but just the fact I can hop over my corn, praise yeah. These are okra that we had laid down really too early, which is why there is not any more popped up. We have laid down a new row of okra. They just have not germinated yet, but soon we'll have a lot more of these. And okra just goes like crazy. Last year it was our easiest crop, hands down. Then here we have got the start of a bush bean, green bean patch. And on my clothesline over here, I've got a patch of sunflowers going. And one thing I absolutely love about the sunflowers is they are always pointed, their tops are always tilted towards the sun. So at the end of the day, all of my sunflowers will actually be looking that way. I just think it's so cool watching them move throughout the day. And then over here, at the end of the sunflower patch, we actually have quite a few volunteer melons, I think, because we did our own compost this year. So we threw our food in here, and a lot of the seeds from our food have sprouted up, which is pretty neat. We're just going to let them grow and see what happens. Last year, we planted store-bought melons, and we got like 9 cantaloupe out of it that were really, really good very quickly. So that was really awesome. In this patch here, I have more bush beans, green beans. Got a lone bush bean over here. I had actually done a few patches, but again, I laid them down way too early, and so they died off. This is round 2. There's one guy there from the first round that made it. Some more sunflowers I'm so excited about. The seeds and stuff will be used for chicken feed and, of course, replanting new sunflowers next year. Over here, I have another patch of bush bean. These are the golden wax bush bean. It's just a green bean that's yellow. And here is one from the first batch I laid down. So if they would have survived, we'd be just days away from our first green bean harvest. But we still got some weeks left on the new ones. Now, over here, we're back to the start of the corn patch. We have got 2 rows going. This is a mix of things. There's butternut squash, and there are lots of types of melons in that. So we'll be mulching over that probably this weekend. There's my chickadees. Oh, I just love them. It's been so much fun. We're finally getting the camper. We've got it tore down. We've got it all packed away in that dumpster, and they're going to come grab that dumpster later. So my yard is getting cleaned up and put together. I'm ready for the season. Over here is our pepper patch. All of this. I think we've got 60 something peppers in this area. Um, and they're just doing wonderful. Some are older than others, which is why some look better than others. They just have been in the ground longer, so the other ones will catch up. So over here, I have a sweet cayenne, which I'm like crazy excited about. And look at all the peppers on it already. I mean, just peppers everywhere. This one here was a store-bought pepper, Big Bertha Bell, and we're gonna get a couple peppers off of that pretty soon. Over here, I have some random things in this bed because we had laid down a bunch of random seeds. So I actually had a dill plant take off really well right there. And this area is going to end up being mulched like the other half. But that's just all our peppers for the back anyways. Oh, and this one was a Wonder Bell that we actually overwintered from last year. So, and it's got a bunch of flowers and fruit beginning to set on it. So that's exciting. So, who would have known a pepper plant would be a perennial? Um, it's another one of my sunflowers. And up on this pole here, I have got a King Bane pole bean. It's supposed to do well in the warmer months. And I've got quite a few of those kind of just placed along this trellis. We also have our sugar daddy peas going on this trellis, but I think our timing was off this year. I think we should have probably put them down a month or so earlier than we did, but that's all right. We'll adjust for next year. Then over here on the side is our tomato patch, and we have like 100 tomatoes or so in this patch. And again, some are bigger than others just because some have been in the ground longer than others. We've been very slowly piecing this garden together just a little bit every weekend, and it's coming together very, very well. This row of tomatoes, all of these were volunteers that popped up in other places around the yard, and so we moved them over into this bed, and they're flowering and going to produce for us. So that's awesome because that's free food. This one right here is much, much, much older than the other ones. I believe Joshua started this guy in January. And I mean, it's doing great. Check out the tomatoes already. This is a big rainbow, so the tomatoes are actually going to get up to 2 pounds. But this row here, these are Dr. Weiss tomatoes, and they're yellow tomatoes that also, I believe, get up to 2 pounds. They have done great. We actually got these seeds for free at our local library. You can actually check out seeds at the library, you guys. Heirloom, locally grown seeds, and they do great. So take advantage of that. Over here, I've got a lot of loan starters that some still need to find a home and be put in the ground pretty soon. Others are just so dinky. I don't believe anything is ever going to come of them. But I've got like some herbs I started too. And then over here, behind the shed, I'm going to have a line of sunflowers. And I'm actually going to lay down more today, more than likely. And we had tomatoes in this area last year. And because the tomatoes fell on the ground, we have got all of these free tomato plants just littered all over the place. And then I came out here the other day and praise Yah, look, I found even more. There's like 20 of them down there. So if anybody is interested in a tomato starter, let me know. Over here in this bed, I have teaspoon tomatoes I grew last year that were a lot of fun. You can literally put like 12 of these tomatoes in a teaspoon because they're that small. It's very fun for salads and stuff. I've got some more starters up here going for the upcoming season. Because my dog chasing my cat. So this is my salad green bed. Although this weekend I believe it's going to turn into either a tomato or a pepper bed because as you guys saw, I've got more. I got to put them down somewhere. And we're almost done with salad season for greens. They don't like the hot weather. So I'm going to go ahead and start pulling a few of those and making space for other things. I've got another row of Sugar Daddy peas going here. Spinach. I did beets. Beets are wonderful for you, and they're greens. I could never bring myself to eat the grocery store ones because they look so nasty all the time. But these greens are wonderful in salads. You can cook them. You can put them in your smoothies. Really, really good for you and very tasty greens. Over here, I had greens, but I've already started putting down my peppers. So I've got, you can hardly see the black ones, but there's one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. So hopefully those do well. Over here, I have got pepper, pepper, pepper. I got more dill, cilantro, dill, and a row of carrots that I'm not sure if those are going to stay there or not. So I'm just going to shuffle things as I go. This is another one of the Black Prince pepper plants. It's just absolutely so beautiful. Very excited about that one. In these beds, I'll probably have mainly my herbs I'm moving in here. There's some thyme and basils, a few carrots. The Brussels sprouts are in the beds for now. I will either leave them for the bugs to eat instead of having them eat my plants. They'll eat this. Or if this ends up taking up too much space and energy, I'll just pull it out, wash it up, and saute it up, eat it. So it doesn't matter if there's holes in it. This is perfectly good food still. Over here, I put down some of my rosemary starts. I don't know how well they're going to do. Rosemary grows very, very, very slow. Like you cannot pick on it at all in at least its first year of life. So, very slow grower. Here is a bed that unfortunately will not be getting filled this year. I have a budget on this garden and a goal, and purchasing dirt this year was just not a part of that. So, but that is okay because the Lord has provided so much. We have more starters here that need homes. We have got my grapevine that I have got to trellis because it is all of a sudden really taking off, and I'm really excited about that. Here I've got some thyme and parsley, rosemary, and lemon balm. Some cucamelon starters. Lemon balm is in the mint family, so I have had no shortage of that plant since I bought it. Wonderful for teas. Absolutely wonderful if you steep um, a handful of those leaves with a few berries for about 5 minutes in boiling water. Uh, and then you add in maybe a tablespoon of honey to it to sweeten it up. It's a very, very nice tea, especially when it's cold. Here I have more thymes, oregano. I've got a sage. It looks sad, but I started this one from seeds, so it's actually taken off all right. A little funny looking. More starters. More rosemary. I plan on having, and I am purchasing these because they take so long to grow. I started mine, but like I said, I cannot touch those this year for sure. Um, so I bought these. I'm going to buy probably a couple more. That way I can use those up through this season and then keep the rest alive and hopefully have them be um, big enough at that point to sustain us. Here I've got another mint, a sweet mint, but something is in this bed and it is eating it up. So I really need to give this bed a little bit of attention. And these are strawberries that we bought a handful of years ago that I found growing up in the weeds beside the house. And so I moved them over here, and I don't expect to get any fruit, any strawberries or anything off of them. But I am using the leaves for tea, and that's been really, really nice. And down here, these are pumpkin plants. This is from my sister carving pumpkins with the kids a few years ago on the porch. The seeds fell off the porch, and we have been getting pumpkins ever since. So we mulched this area, and we're just going to let them go this year and see how they do. I wanted to come back and tell you guys a little bit about this bed real quick.